Okay, ready? We're in Redwall this month. And um, this is Redwall. This book is part of a series. It's sort of in the middle. And there's three parts to this book. We're in part one, chapter 5. Down in Cavern Hall, the great feast had slackened off. So had a lot of belts. They ate too much. Redwall mice and their guests sat back replete. There were still great quantities of food uneaten. Abbot Mortimer whispered in Friar Hugo's ear, "Friar, I want you to pack up a large sack with food, hazelnuts, cheese, bread, cakes, anything you see fit. Give it to Mrs. Churchmouse as secretly as you can without attracting attention. Poverty is an ugly specter when a mousewife has as many mouths to feed as she does. Oh, and be sure that her husband doesn't suspect what you are doing. John Churchmouse may be poor, but he is also proud. I fear he might not accept charitable gifts." Hugo nodded knowingly and waddled off to do his abbot's bidding. Cornflower and Matthias had become quite friendly. They were young mice of the same age. Though their temperaments were different, they found something in common, an interest in Tim and Tess, the twin church mice. They had passed a pleasant evening, joking and playing games with the little creatures. Tess had clambered onto Matthias's lap and fallen asleep, whereas baby Tim did likewise in the velvety fur of Cornflower. She smiled at Matthias as she stroked Tim's small head. "Oh, bless their little paws. Don't they look peaceful?" Matthias nodded in agreement. Colin Vole tittered aloud and remarked rather foolishly, "Ooh, would you look at Matthias and Cornflower there, nursing those two babies like they were an old wedded couple. Will crumble my bank." Brother Alf reprimanded him sharply. "Here now, you keep a latch on that silly tongue of yours, Colin Vole. Don't you know that some day Matthias will be a Redwall mouse? And don't let me hear you slandering young Cornflower. She's a decent mouse from a good family. Mark my words, Master Vole, I could say a thing or two to your mom and dad. Only last evening I saw you playing catch the bulrush with that young harvest mouse. What was her name now?" Guess he told him. Colin Vole blushed till his nose went dry. He flounced off, swishing his tail, muttering about going outside to take the air. Matthias caught a nod and a glance from the abbot. Excusing himself to Cornflower, he deposited the sleeping Tess gently on his chair and went across to him. "Ah, Matthias, my son, here you are. Did you enjoy my Jubilee feast?" "Yes, thank you, Father," Matthias replied. "Good, good," chuckled the abbot. "Now, I was going to ask Brother Alf or Edmund to go on a special errand, but they are no longer young mice and both look quite weary at this late hour. So I thought I might ask my chief grayling catcher to carry out this special task for me." Matthias could not help but stand a little taller. "Say the word and I'm your mouse, sir." The abbot leaned forward and spoke confidentially. "Do you see the church mouse family? Well, it's such a long way back home for them on foot. Good heavens! And there are so many of them. I thought it would be a splendid idea if you were to drive them home in the Abbey cart along with any others going that way. Constance Badger would pull the cart, and of course, while you act as a guide and bodyguard. Take a good stout staff with you, Matthias." The young mouse needed no second bidding. Drawing himself up to his full height, he saluted in a smart military fashion. "Leave it to me, Father Abbot. Old Constance is a bit slow thinking. I'll take complete responsibility." The abbot shook with silent laughter as he watched Matthias march off with a soldier like swagger. Flip flop, he tripped and fell flat on his tail. "Oh dear, I'll have to get that young mouse some sandals that aren't so big," the abbot said to himself for the second time that day. Well, what a stroke of luck! Fancy Cornflower's family living so close to the church mouse brood. Matthias was only too glad to offer them a lift home. Would Miss Cornflower like to sit next to him? I think he likes her. She most certainly would. Cornflower's parents sat inside the cart, her mum helping Mrs. Church Mouse with the little ones, while her dad chatted away with John Church Mouse as they shared a pipe of old bracken twist. Friar Hugo came out and dumped a bulky sack next to Miss Church Mouse. "Abbot says to thank you for the loan of the bowls and tablecloths, ma'am." The friar gave her a big wink. "All comfy back there?" called Matthias. "Right off. Here we go, Constance." The big badger trundled the cart away as they called their good nights. She nodded at Methuselah, the ancient gatekeeper mouse. As the cart rolled onto the road, a sliver of golden moon looked down from a star-pierced summer night. Matthias gazed upwards, feeling as if he were slowly turning with the silent earth. Peace was all about him. The baby mice inside the cart whimpered fitfully in their small secret dreams. Constance ambled slowly along as though she were out on a nighttime stroll, pulling no weight at all. The stout ash staff lay forgotten on the footboard. Cornflower dozed against Matthias's shoulder. She could hear the gentle lull of her father's voice and that of John Churchmouse blending with the hum of nocturnal insects from the meadow and hedges on this balmy summer night. The summer of the late rose. Cornflower turned the words over in her mind, dreamily thinking of the old rambler which bloomed in the Abbey's gardens. Normally, it was in full red flower by now, but this year, for some unknown reason, it had chosen to flower late. It was covered in dormant young rosebuds, even now, well into June, a thing that happened only infrequently and usually heralded an extra long, hot summer. Old Methuselah could only remember 3 other summers in his long lifetime. Accordingly, he had advised that it be marked on the calendar and in the Abbey chronicles as the summer of the late rose. Cornflower's head sank lower in sleep. The old cart rolled on gently down the long, dusty road. They were now over halfway to the ruined church of St. Ninian, where John Churchmouse lived, as had his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather before him. Matthias had fallen into a deep slumber. Even Constance was unable to stop her eyelids drooping. She went slower and slower. It was as if the little cart and its occupants were caught in the magic spell of an enchanted summer night. Suddenly, and without warning, they were roused by the thunder of hooves. Nobody could determine which direction the sound was coming from. It seemed to fill the very air about them as it gathered momentum. The ground began trembling with the tumbling noise, or rumbling noise, excuse me. Some sixth sense warned Constance to get off the road to a hiding place. The powerful badger gave a mighty heave. Her blunt claws churned the roadside soil as she propelled the cart through a gap in the hawthorn hedge down to the slope of the ditch, where she dug her paws in, holding the cart still and secure, while John Churchmouse and Cornflower's father jumped out and helped wedge the wheels firmly with stones. Matthias gasped with shock as a giant horse galloped past, its mane streaming out, eyes rolling in panic. It was towing a hay cart which bounced wildly from side to side. Matthias could see rats among the hay, but these were no ordinary rats. They were huge, ragged rodents, bigger than any he had ever seen. Their heavy tattooed arms waved a variety of weapons: pikes, knives, spears, and long rusty cutlasses. Standing boldly on the backboard of the hay cart was the biggest, fiercest, most evil rat that had ever slunk out of a nightmare. In one claw he grasped a long pole with a ferret's head spiked to it, while in the other was his thick, enormous tail, which he cracked like a whip. Laughing madly and yelling strange curses, he swayed to and fro skillfully as horse and wagon clattered off down the road into the night. As suddenly as they had come, they were gone. Matthias walked out into the road, staff in hand. Stray wisps of hay drifted down behind him. His legs trembled uncontrollably. Constance hauled the Abbey cart back onto the road. Cornflower was helping her mom and Mrs. Churchmouse to calm the little one's tears of fright. Together they stood in the cart tracks amid the settling dust. Did you see that? I saw it, but I don't believe it. What in heavens was it? What in hell, more like? All those rats. Such big ones, too. Aye, and that one in the back, he looked like the devil himself. Seeing Matthias still stunned by what had happened, Constance took over the leadership. She wheeled the cart around. I think we'd best head back to the Abbey, she said firmly. Father Abbot'll know what to do about this straight away. Knowing that the Badger was far more experienced than himself, Matthias assumed the role of second in command. Right. Cornflower, get in the cart and take charge of the mothers and babies, he said. Mr. Fieldmouse, Mr. Churchmouse, up front with Constance, please. Silently, the mice did as ordered. The cart moved off with Matthias positioned on the back, providing a rear guard. The young mouse gripped his staff tightly, his back to his charges, facing down the road in the direction the hay cart had taken. Okay, we got time for one more chapter. This is, this one has a name, Fur and Fang, chapter 6. The horse had got away safely. It was the hay cart that suffered the most damage. Bolting recklessly from side to side down the road, the blinkered animal failed to see the twin stone gateposts on its right. Skidding crazily, the cart smashed into the uprights. There was a loud splintering of shafts as the horse careered onwards, trailing in its wake reins, tracers, and shattered timber. His lightning reflexes serving him well, Cluny leaped clear. He landed cat-like on all fours as the hay cart upended in the roadside ditch, its buckled wheels spinning awkwardly. Feeling braced after his mad ride and the subsequent narrow escape, Cluny strode to the ditch's edge. The distressed cries of those trapped beneath the cart reached his ears. He spat contemptuously, narrowing his one good eye. Come on, get up out of there, you cringing load of cat's meat, he bellowed. Redtooth, Darkclaw, report to me or I'll have your skulls for skittles. Cluny's two hench rats pulled themselves from the ditch, shaking their heads dazedly. Crack! Slash! The whip-like tail brought them swiftly to his side. Three-Leg and Scratch are dead, Chief. Dead as dirt. The cart crushed 'em, Chief. Stupid fools, snarled Cluny. Serves 'em right. What about the rest? Old Wormtail has lost a paw. Some of the others are really hurt. Cluny sneered. Ah, they'll get over it and suffer worse by the time I'm done with them. They're getting too fat and sluggish by the tripes. They'd not last 5 minutes in a storm at sea. Come on, you dead and alive ragbags. Get up here and gather around. Rats struggled from the ditch and the cart, frantic to obey the harsh command as quickly as possible. They crowded about the undamaged gatepost, which their leader had chosen as a perch. None dared to complain or cry about their hurts. Who could predict what mood the warlord was in? Right, cock up your lungs and listen to me, Cluny snarled. First, we've got to find out where we have docked. Let's take a bearing on this place. Redtooth held up his claw. The Church of St. Ninian, Chief. It says so on the notice board over yonder. Well, no matter, Cluny snapped. It'll do as a berth until we find something better. Fangburn? Cheese thief? Here, Chief. Scout the area. See if you can find a better lodging for us than this heap of rubble. Trail back to the west. I think we passed a big place on the way. That would be Redwall. Aye, aye, Chief. Frogblood? Scumnose? Chief, take 50 soldiers and see if you can round up any rats that know the lie of the land. Get big, strong rats, but bring along weasels, stoats, and ferrets too. They'll do in a pinch. Mind now, don't stand for any arguments. Smash their dens up so they won't have homes to worry about. If any refuse to join up, then kill them there and then. Understood? All clear, Chief. Rag-ear, Mangefur, take 20 rats and forage for supplies. The rest of you get inside the church. Redtooth, Darkclaw, check the armor. See if there are any things about that we can use as weapons. Iron spike railings. There's usually enough of them around a churchyard. Jump to it. Cluny had arrived. Boy, don't you know it's a good thing that the church mice didn't make it home to St. Ninian's, because that's where they are, the bad guys. Anyway, until next time, we'll do chapter 7. Until then.